Okay. Awesome. Check that. Got it. More or less crooked. Sweet. All right. All right. I'm bringing water in here. Morning, evening, whenever you may be joining. Thanks for joining. Welcome to yoga. Turn on your music. Whatever may be comforting or soothing for you. Shoes and socks off. Find your mat. Maybe a jacket for a little while before we get moving so we stay nice and warm. And let's come on down to our mats for just a moment. Oh yeah, and maybe we'll come to our backs first. We'll start on our backs today. It's coming down to our backs, palms facing up. Let's take a few wiggles to get there. Right? If maybe a low back or lying flat on your back isn't for you, you can always come and do a little fall-on bridge, especially if this is your first movement for the morning. Just breathing into that space for a moment. Just quick check-in. All right, heels are touching the mat, I assume. Maybe the calves are, maybe they aren't. Maybe the back of the thighs aren't currently, right? Hips are even on that mat. A little wash out. The shoulders come away from the ears. Let the palms face the sky. Nice big breaths. And then taking that right leg and just bending the knee and bringing it in. So if that's not comfortable for the hips, you can always bring that left leg in, foot flat for stability. Otherwise, you can extend it. And just a little work into that hip right there. Maybe some little circles, maybe a little squeeze towards the armpit or straight in. Right? Maybe it's drawing it across. Find some movement there. Gentle to begin with, maybe we open up the hip. And taking that inhale and just opening into the back of the leg. So first round, round one, so be gentle, nice soft knee bend. And let that leg go long. And let's switch sides. So long leg, or of course you can have that right foot down for stability. Bringing the left knee in. Giving it a moment there. Maybe, of course, opening up, hip circles, in and out. Whatever feels nice to sort of bring that back. And taking that inhale and extending that leg towards the sky. And then letting that leg long. Nice little exhale. I already feel nice and long. A few inches longer, right? Already, right off the bat. Take a breath or two there. And then bring both knees in. Oh, maybe a little squeeze of both knees, a little rounding on the back, maybe a little left to right. Maybe some movement there. And then taking the back of the legs and taking a few rolls up, nice and slow, rolling through the back. And then when we come to the top of the mat, maybe cross the legs. So I'm not at the top of my mat. Cross your legs and come on up into a forward fold. All right, so maybe you rock it out, cross the legs, and come into that forward fold. Nice big knee bend, crown of the head hangs. Feet could either be completely touching or under the hips. Taking, clasping opposite arms for a little ragdoll, moving into that top half, bottom half, staying nice and still. And then taking that inhale, rising all the way up. Core engages, reaching to the ceiling. Maybe a little baby back bend if we so choose. And exhale, forward fold all the way down. You demon the hands wider down heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. So a nice flat back on that top half. Hands could be to the thighs, shins, blocks, the floor. Chest warming into that back half here, so it may change through the course of the class. Exhale, fold, hop or step it back. Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Knees could be down. Inhale on the up dog and hold there for a moment. Or maybe it's Sphinx or Cobra for today. Glutes can be squeezed to lift the knees. And exhale, down dog. Taking the hips high. Taking that inhale on the right foot, step it between the hands for lunge, and open to the side, towards the knee. You could bring the back knee down if you're working on your balance, right? It doesn't have to be an active lunge here. Exhale, bring the hand down and fold. Inhale, roll up. So that'll be our little sun A to warm up with. Exhale down, hands wide or down heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and plant the hands, bend the knees, hop or step it back all the way down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the foot forward. Exhale to twist. Take a nice inhale there. And exhale, fold, step the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to rise, few more on each side. All the way up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hop or plant the hands. Let that breath go. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, down. Left foot or right foot again steps forward. And inhale, open to the side. Maybe a little reach back every single time. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Maybe a back bend at the top if your breath allows. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop or step it back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, stepping their left foot forward. Exhale, twisting. Again, maybe adding that reach back as we become a little bit more limber and loose in our practice. Step forward. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, down we go. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. And open. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, bend the knees, hopper step. All the way down. Inhale on the up. Exhale on the down. Right foot comes forward. Swing it in, round through the back, and open the chest. Open the shoulder, let it slide down and back. Fold, and step in. Rise on up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your step. Inhale up. And exhale into our down. Bending the knees as needed. Take that chest towards the knees or towards the thighs. Left leg steps through. Inhale to open. Maybe a reach back. And exhale down and fold. And roll to the tap. And hold right there. Nice big inhale. Breathe into the space of the mat. Take a breath there. Just want to make sure of one thing. That might change things. Take that breath in all the way up and fold again. Exhale, down we go. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hopper step it back. Let's get into our bigger set of work. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Inhale, take that right leg and lift it high, keeping the chest and hips square. Take that breath, draw it through, and rise to warrior two on side one. So, front knee, nice big knee bend, back hip open, pushing through that side of the foot. It's a little warm in here now. Maybe we can loose the jacket. Right? There. So, normally a lot of us dip into that back arm, nice long arms. Rotating that front thigh out, front knee over midline toe. Taking a breath in this space. Now we may want a little bit shorter stance, only because we are going to come from lunge to warrior two. Okay, so coming around, rotating through the hip. Nothing is really going to change in that front leg. So stack it up. So take that inhale, shift through, and then sink into that lunge. Inhale to rise and open. Exhale to sink into those legs. Inhale, shift through. Exhale, sink into that lunge. Inhale to rise. Exhale into those legs. One more time, maybe two more times. Inhale up. Exhale, sink. So hip and knee and toe come around. We open. And then we sink in. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Sink. Inhale up. Exhale, sink. Keep those legs the same. Tip back for our sun warrior. So nothing changes in that bottom half. Nice and light. And those back hands to the calf. Opening up that front body. Breathe into that space, find the power in the legs. And inhale to center, exhale, extend your warrior forward. Opening the chest, so no chest facing down, open that chest. If you need to back off the lean over, reaching through those fingertips, nice long arms. You could straighten, you could start to make your way to the ground. A little balance, so we're either gonna step the back foot in or you're gonna just power off that back foot for floating half moon. So nice flex foot in the back, hip stays open to the side. We'll have warrior three later. You could be working on picking up that back foot, right? So maybe the front knee is bent, hip is open, hands are floating, and maybe we're just working on balancing on that one leg, picking up that back foot, right? And then shining through the heart, nice and long there. Take that inhale right into chair pose, so swing that leg through and sinking into the legs. Feet can either be completely touching or under the hips. Your choice. Pull that belly in, try and flatten out the low back. Sink into the legs. And eagle pose for a little balance. Bring the hands down. Right leg over left, right? So the toe may be in the ground. We have a little bit of cross legs. I'll face you guys. So a little bit of cross legs. You can stay facing the front of your mat, wherever you like. Maybe it's just the foot floats. Maybe it's just a cross down at the feet. Maybe it's a full wrap into those legs. Palms could be together. Back of the hands could be together. Or left arm under right for a full opposite wrap. Lifting those elbows, so normally our elbows drop here. Lift them up in line with shoulders. Pull them away so you really open the upper back. Okay, but that's gonna want us to lean forward. So now you've gotta sit into the legs, chest lifted, arms lifted, pulling away, but sitting up nice and straight. Our Garandasana, our eagle pose, strong. And then unravel and right into warrior three, floating on that front leg. So this time hip faces the ground. And come back to side on. Hip is facing the ground, right? So not open like we were for floating half moon, but hip faces the ground, reaching forward, warrior three. Long from fingertip to toe. And then taking that foot back, coming on down and twisting towards the knee. Nice little reach back. You could sink into that hip if you wanted to, or you can stay upright. You can prayer hands if you want more of that twist, keeping the chest lifted. Play the arms here if you'd like. And center the chest and pull back into a little half split. So toes gonna come up. Maybe you sit all the way back onto the heel. Maybe it's somewhere in between, right? Maybe it's here today. Let the toes lift as needed. Let the knee bend as needed. Sitting into that hamstring, lots of support with the hands. And then taking that breath forward, pigeon pose or hurdler stretch. So just coming forward, and then that knee will come down across the front, and we're gonna sink into those hips. Nice flex foot on that front leg, sinking in. Chest stays lifted here if you would like. Take a quick peek at that back foot. Notice if it's top down, right? And if you want, you can come down into a more relaxed pose. Just taking a few breaths here. Options for pigeon would be hurdler stretch, so both knees at 90-90 and reaching over that front, or on your back for figure four if you wanted to omit the knees altogether. One more round of breath there, and if you're in a more relaxed pose, start to help yourself up to the top. Shining through the back of the chest, tuck that back toe, and shoot that leg out and wash it out. Exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down dog. Coming up onto the toes, bending the knees, and rolling over those legs for child's pose. Let the head come down. Take that inhale forward, tuck the toes down dog. Let's get into the other side. Lift that left leg high. Take that inhale, step it through, and rise on up. Warrior two, other side, side two, warrior two, right? All right, pushing in, finding strength there, letting the shoulders dip down around, away from the ears. Take a breath into that space, open the chest, shoulders down and back. And remember, if we need to shorten up that stance a little bit for our lunge combo, just to make sure we keep everything nice and safe, go ahead and shorten that stance a little bit. My mat's clumping up on me. Okay, so take that inhale, lunge, exhale, sink. Inhale, rise, exhale, sink into the legs. Inhale, come through, exhale, sink. Inhale, rise and open, exhale, sink. Draw it through. Down we go. Up and open. Again. Draw through, sink, open, sink. One more time. Draw through, down, rise, back, and inhale, sun warrior. Take it back. Take that breath to center and exhale, extend your warrior forward. Hop in that back foot or find some power and take off, and a little balance. And take off that back foot, flexing, peeling, opening to the side, floating half moon. And bend the front knee, take it forward, chair pose. Again, feet can be completely touching or under the hips. Send those hips down and back. Draw the belly in so you can have a nice flat back here as opposed to the pigeoning of the chest, right? Tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Take that left leg, cross it over right. Again, it may float. It may just be down on the ground for balance. It may wrap all the way around. Release the hands and shoulders, palms together, back of the hands, or right arm under left. Lifting those elbows in line with shoulders, pulling that belly in, sinking into the hips, all the things, I know. And then seeing if we can draw that back up or behind us. So we're sitting up nice and tall, hands in front, big pull across the chest, or excuse me, across the upper back. And release, unravel, warrior three, float on that leg. Keep that hip square, chest comes down. Plant that foot behind you, bend the back knee, and exhale, twist towards the knee. A little half split, bringing the chest back to center. Exhale, sitting into the back of that leg. Now again, your half split is your half split. Let the toe come up, let the knee bend. Take that inhale forward and pigeon pose on the other side. So the foot's gonna come across the front of the body. Foot may be more towards the groin, right? May not be as parallel with the top of the mat as mine necessarily, and that's okay. Sitting up nice and tall, a little peek at that back foot, open up the front of the foot. Sinking into those hips. Nice big breath there as we equal the weight in between the hips before we come down, if a more relaxed pose is going to be where you're going for today. Take that next big inhale. If you're in a more lowered position, come on up, give yourself a breath there, tuck that back toe nice and stable, and then shoot that leg back. Exhale down. Inhale into your up, and exhale down. Again, coming up onto the toes. Really come up onto the toes, push into those, right? Nice big stretch, and then bend the knees, child's pose, sit back and down. We'll run through that sequence one more time on each side, maybe slightly quicker, just so we'll move through a little breath and movement. We'll hold in the spots so we got a nice stretch. So take that inhale, tuck the toes, exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift that right leg high. Take it, draw it through, and rise on up. Warrior two. Back to side one, shall we? Just 3 of those lunges, so inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Again, breath. One more time. Through, back heel comes up nice and high, dip in, open, and then back. Reach. Sun warrior, reach it back, hold here for a breath or two, just opening up that front body even more, reaching through those fingertips up top, really C-shaping that spine over. Inhale to center, exhale, extend. Holding here for a breath or two. Right now that we've sunk into the legs, we're a little warmer. Let's float. Inhale, float that. Ooh, maybe a little extra balance this time, right? Floating into that flex, flex, flex that back foot hard. Squeeze open in that back glute and that back body. Inhale and plant, exhale, right in the chair. Inhale, take that right foot over left. Bring the hands down. Exhale. Find your hands, palms, backs, or full left under right. Pulling the top half of the body back, right? Sitting into the hips. Belly in, back of arms in equal as shoulders, drawing away, opening the upper back. Feel that big rounding in the upper back. Breathe into that belly space. And open warrior three, reach. Hips stay square this time. And exhale, twist. Release that back foot. And half split, inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, forward, pigeon pose again. So bringing that knee in. You can take that foot and help it. Sitting up. Taking a few rounds of breath here. So if you want to come down, you can. If you want a quad stretch this time, maybe we can throw that in. You can reach back for the foot. If you can't reach the foot, or it's just a hair too much, right? You can always sit into that hip. So it's more of a hurdler stretch now. And reach back for that foot here. Okay, same quad stretch, you're just sort of removing that front hip flexor stretch a little bit, so if it's more comfortable there, or you can strap that foot, if you have a strap, and bring it closer to you. If you want to come down, you can reach towards the mat with that foot in hand. And if you've got that foot, or if you're in a more relaxed position, release the foot, help yourself up, tuck that back toe nice and strong, lift the hips. You could also come up onto the knee just to give that foot some space to come back. Exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down. Let's take that child's pose, stretch into the toes, open those up, still continue to take those hips high. And roll forward, knees down, exhale. Release, hinge into the hips. Take that inhale forward, exhale down dog. Let's do it one more on the other side. Lift that left leg high. Take that breath, draw it through, rise on up. Breathe into that space, sink into the legs. Let's take our lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And down. Again. Inhale. Exhale. Nice lunge. Inhale, rise. And exhale, open. Inhale, sun warrior. Take it back. Inhale, center, exhale, extend forward. Reach, sink into those legs. Long, strong arms here. Straighten, could be the ground, right? Hips have to come with you though. Lifted in that side body. And let's float, take off, flex that back foot hard. As soon as it lifts off the ground, flex it, flex it, flex it. Nice soft knee in the front. And inhale, chair pose, exhale, sink. Right into it. Take that left leg over right for our eagle. Maybe wrap it, maybe it's down on the ground. Hands right under left for a full wrap. Pulling that body back like we're sitting in a nice high chair. Sitting into the hips, back of the arms even with the shoulders, drawing away from you. And let's open up, unravel, and into warrior three. Hips stay square. Remember, so open is floating half moon. Keep that hip nice and closed. Long here, reach. Soft knee bend here, support. And step it back and twist. Release. Chest back on the inhale, hips back on the exhale. Taking that forward, making the adjustments, bringing that foot in, and into that pigeon on the other side. Nice flex foot, sitting up nice and tall. If you want to come down, or if you want to reach back for the quad, go ahead, whatever you'd like, or you can sit into the hip if you'd like the quad stretch, but this is too much. In the front of that leg. And let's release that back leg if you have it, or start to help yourself up. Tuck that toe under, push back into that plank, and exhale. Our Chaturanga Dandasana, high low plank. Big release, taking the hips high, and one more time, up on the toes, open those, bring the knees down, child's pose. A little front body opening, wild thing, or modified wild thing. So bringing the right knee, so we're gonna wrist, elbow, shoulder in line on that right hand, right knee somewhere down on the mat. So if we were in horse stance, you would just start to position everything, left leg out, and we're just gonna reach and open that front body. So lots of support, my back leg is down here, I've got a good contact here, lots of contact here, and your back bend to the back is your option, right? However far you lean back, wherever your balance is, just open up the front body, start to squeeze that glute in the back, push the hips forward a bit, and get in sort of that back bend here in our modified wild thing. And coming back down, let's switch sides. So other leg comes around, support here, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Do yourself that favor in the shoulder and start to open the chest, squeeze the glutes, reach back behind. And taking that forward, planting the hands and coming in for camel pose. So you might need to double or triple up your mat if you've got a fairly thin mat. Protect those knees. Knees in line with hips, both left to right and forward to back, right? So we want to be stacked in the bottom half. You could also do half camel if full camel is not in your practice. Lifting through the chest, right? Nice big inhale. We find our back pockets. Like if you have little back pockets just at the top of your, not like all the way down on your butt, but like where your lower back or high butt, low back is, where your hands would go, right? Nice little support there on that low back. Letting the elbows draw back, chest opens. As we inhale, we're gonna lift. Now, we don't want the shoulders to come near the ears, but we do wanna shine through the back of the heart. Now, you can keep the chin to chest, or you could start to take the head back if you wanted to. Options from here are to reach back for a block, and that might be in between your legs, so we can reach back, really open that chest. Maybe you tuck the toes under and reach back for the heels that are now closer to you, right? Or you could keep the feet flat and reach back, but we really still want to shine through the back of the chest. We want to try and not arch too much in that low back. Nice big breath, big heart opener. Switching that hip crunch, right? We've been folding a lot today. And slowly making your way out of this. So taking your hands to your back if they weren't already there. If they're on your back, pull the belly in, bring that shoulders back over hips, and exhale, let's sit back onto our hips for a nice neutral back there. Just giving that a moment. And let's go ahead and come onto our backs. Little bridge pose, extending the other way again. So coming on down, knees in line with hips, so no splaying out to the sides, no feet out to the sides, everything in line with the hips, and everything stays in line with the hips. So you may or may not be able to touch your heels, but they should be pretty close to your fingertips. Even if you're not touching them, you should be able to like feel the presence of them, right? So that when we push up through the hips, the knees stay nice and square. So shoulders away, throat open so we can breathe, palms face the sky. And take that inhale, push through the hands and open up that front body. Now don't let the knees splay out. Everything stays in line with hips. Driving the hips up. If you want to climb up on the shoulders, you can clasp the hands behind the back and climb up on the shoulders and push the knife edge of the pinkies down into the mat for support. Big chest opener again here, and we can lift the hips higher. Continuing to breathe, don't let those legs splay out. Big glute squeeze to keep them in line. Inner thigh squeeze, lifting. One more round of breath there. If you are up on the shoulders, take those shoulders and hands out, and then everybody just roll down through the back, right? Rolling through the spine. See if you can push every vertebrae down as we come down, nice and slow. That takes some slowness, right? You gotta think about that for a second. And then when that tailbone hits, just a little windshield wiper to each side. Letting that go. Nice, taking that right leg and just crossing it over the left. Taking the hands out to the sides and letting, so right leg over left and legs are gonna go to the left side. So if that is too much of a twist, you can always just bring the knees over hips. You can always bring the left leg long and just a single leg twist. So if this is too weighted, make adjustments as needed. Just let the legs fall over. So this top knee may never hit the ground, right? The bottom thigh may not hit the ground, but we get a big weighted twist. Glue that back shoulder down. You don't want to be twisted here with the shoulder floating, right? The goal is to keep the twist in a safe spot. So support with that right foot as needed, left foot as needed on the ground. Let the weight be what you need, but keep the chest open and keep that twist in a nice, safe mid-back spot. Take that breath back to center, help yourself back to center, uncross the feet, readjust the hips in the back, cross left over right, glue the shoulders down, and exhale into the twist on the other side. Inhale back to center, uncross the legs, let the soles of the feet come together and just open the hips into Supta Baddha Konasana for just a breath or two before we extend and finish where we started. And take that inhale, extend the legs long. And bring the hands back down near the sides. Adjust the hips. And bring that right leg in again. Again, finishing where we started, just on our backs, pulling into that hip. Maybe some little rotations. Feeling a bit longer here on that back side, and then open that leg. And then extending that leg and bringing the other one in, knowing that you can always use the other leg's stability, right? Lengthening there. And then straightening that leg when you're ready. That hip is worked out a bit. Take it by the back of the thigh, or the calf, or the toe, or if you have a strap. And then just bend the knee and bring both knees in. A little roll on the back. Maybe a little yogi ball if you feel like rounding into that top half. And then taking that big inhale and extending into corpse pose, your final asana. I'm just putting on my jacket again. Maybe you need a jacket as well, or a blanket, right? As we lay down. It's kind of chilly today, depending on where you are, I suppose. And again, settling into that space. And before we get too deep into our meditation or our whichever pose you'd like to take, side on, seated, any of those things, let's just take note on our back real quick if you're going to change position to how we feel, right? So where we started, where we ended, check in, heels on the mat, calves on the mat. Maybe now the back of the thighs are on the mat. Maybe the hips feel a bit more grounded and stable, right? Shoulders down and back. Maybe the shoulders, the outside edges of the shoulders are now actually hitting the mat, right? And then just take a breath after we've sort of done a little check-in and melt in or change positions to whatever position you would like to spend your meditation in for today. Maybe grab your meditation mat or your bolster, maybe grab a pillow for your head, like I said, blankets, socks, whatever you need to be comfortable for a few minutes right here. Take that next big breath and come back to your mat space, inhaling. A nice big exhale, melting into that mat. Slowly start to let that breath be a guide to bringing small movements back, bringing some awareness back to the body, moving at your pace, taking your time. Maybe it's a nice big stretch, maybe it's a knee bend, maybe it's a wash to either side, whatever it is for you today. And then eventually letting everything just sort of fall to one side for a moment, and a breath there. Taking that big inhale to the top, nice seated position, coming around, wherever you may be. Hands can always be on the knees, up for receiving, closed for a little self-work, right? You can bring the hands to heart center or over the heart. Just taking one more deep breath in our space. Taking a moment for always that little thank you for carving out time for ourselves, for making that mind-body-breath connection, for filling our space with something good for us. As always, thank you for choosing me to allow you to lead you in your practice. I always thank you for coming and sharing your energy and your space and your breath with me, regardless of when it may be. Namaste. Awesome. Ever any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or you need modifications, please ask myself or Brandon. I'd be happy to help or answer or reach out in some way. Other than that, I will see you guys next time whenever